So if you're using Google Finance to keep an eye on your stocks, you already know it is just packed with data. But what if you could take all those endless tables of numbers and turn them into professional-grade charts with, like, a single click? Well, today, that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to check out how the Finmagine Chart Builder makes that happen for stocks all over the world.
Have you ever been there? You're researching a stock and you're just hit with this wall of numbers. It feels a bit overwhelming, right? Well, trust me, you are not alone. It is a huge challenge for investors everywhere.
I mean, just look at a raw data table like this one on Google Finance. The real story of the company, its wins, its losses, it all just gets buried. It's almost impossible to spot the important trends or get a quick feel for its financial health when everything's just a number stuck in a box.
But what if you could just slice right through all that noise? What if you could take all that complexity and just transform it into one single clear picture that tells you the story instantly? That's really the power of visualization, and we are about to break down exactly how you can do it. And this is how it's possible with the Finmagine Chart Builder. The really great news is that it is now available for global stocks right inside Google Finance. So that means you can use this deep level of analysis on companies in the US, Europe, Asia, you name it, all from the same place.
The whole idea here is actually really simple. Take those dense, kind of confusing financial tables for whatever stock you're looking at, and with just one click, turn them into charts that are professional, insightful, and frankly, just way easier to read.
Okay, now before we jump into the nuts and bolts, there is one critical rule you absolutely have to know. Seriously, understanding this one thing is going to save you a ton of frustration. It is the key to using this tool the right way. We're calling it the Google Finance Rule. All right, let's really dive into this because it is the most important part of this whole explainer. See, unlike a lot of other platforms out there, Google Finance only loads one financial statement at a time. So whether it's the income statement, the balance sheet, or cash flow, you're only ever looking at one. And this table here really shows the key difference. On a lot of platforms, you can pull data from all over the place onto one page. But look at all those no's for Google Finance. It's built to show you only one specific view at a time, like just the quarterly income statement or just the annual balance sheet, but never both at once. And hey, this isn't a bug, it's just how the site is designed to work.
So this brings us to the golden rule. You have to remember this. Always, always, always decide which data you want to see first, let's say the annual income statement, and then you open the chart builder. The tool simply charts whatever is visible on your screen at that moment. Okay, so if you can only see one view at a time, how in the world do you switch between them? Like going from quarterly profits to annual cash flow. Well, you use this simple little process we call the minimize restore workflow.
It's a really easy 5-step process. You go to the financials, pick the single view you want to analyze, open the builder, and then, and this is the magic part, you use this unique minimize and restore trick to switch to a new set of data without losing any of your work.
Let's just walk through a quick example. So imagine you start out by looking at a company's quarterly income statement. You've charted its revenue, its EBITDA, that's a measure of profitability, and its net profit margin, just to get a feel for how things have been going lately.
Now, what if you want to see the bigger, long-term annual trend? Here's what you do. You don't close the tool. You just hit minimize, you switch the view on Google Finance from quarterly to annual, and then you hit restore on the chart panel.
And boom, just like that, the chart automatically refreshes with the new annual data. So now you're looking at the bigger picture, the full yearly perspective, and it only took a few seconds. It's a really slick workflow once you get the hang of it. So now that you know the secret workflow, let's get super clear on what you can and what you cannot do. Understanding the capabilities and, the limitations is really key to getting the most out of this whole thing.
All right, so here's the deal. You absolutely can chart all the metrics from any single statement, like comparing revenue to profit. And of course, you can switch between views using that minimize restore workflow. Now, what you cannot do is mix quarterly and annual data in the same chart, or combine things from, say, the income statement and the balance sheet. Each chart is like a snapshot of just one single view.
Okay, we've covered the rules, we've covered the workflow. Now it's time for the fun part, putting it all together to find some actual insights. Let's run through a quick little analysis recipe you can start using right away.
So, a classic question for any analyst is this. A company might look profitable on paper, but is it actually generating cold, hard cash?
This is a really important question, and it's something we can check out in just a few clicks.
So, you'd start by charting the annual income statement. You can see profits are trending up, which is great, but is the company actually collecting that cash? Well, that's when you use our Minimize Restore workflow to instantly pivot over to the cash flow statement. Comparing these two views side by side tells you the real story about the company's financial health.
So, to wrap this all up, just remember these 4 key things. Number 1, select your view first. Number 2, use the Minimize Restore workflow to switch between them. 3, always remember it's one view, one chart. And 4, you can now instantly analyze pretty much any global stock. It really is that simple. Look, every financial statement out there is telling a story about a company's journey, its successes, its struggles, its potential. So the only question left is, are you ready to finally see that story more clearly than ever before?